Hey guys, welcome back. It's Wednesday, November 28th. We're here with Nick Austin. He's our meteorologist. He's been on vacation for Thanksgiving during the big storm that we had, the blizzard we had in the Midwest. And so we're glad to have him back in the office today. We're actually going to talk about what has happened around the weather and what weather looks like today. So Nick, and talk a little bit about what you see on sonar.
Well, what's happening, that storm that was in the Midwest, a big blizzard, that's been moving through the Northeast. That snow is going to be winding down tonight. But for today and into this evening, there's still going to be several more inches of snow from interior portions of New England and the northeastern United States. So a lot of lake effect snow, that snow machine's still kind of churning out there. So especially from around Erie, Pennsylvania, Buffalo, New York, they'll get several more inches of snow. That'll wind down tonight. It's raining across parts of California over some of the burn scar areas from where the campfire and some of the other wildfires, which have finally been put out, but there's possibly going to be some flooding, debris flow from heavy rain tonight and tomorrow, and the Sierra Nevada range is going to see a lot of snow. We're talking about possibly up to 3 or 3.5 feet of snow in parts of the Sierra Nevada in eastern California, right near the Nevada line, just west of Lake Tahoe. Some of the highest elevations right in these areas tonight through tomorrow are going to see possibly up to 3.5 feet of snow. So that's basically going to make travel nearly impossible to get anything through those areas. Donner Pass, as well as Carson Pass out in eastern California. Interstate 80, US Route 50, a lot of other roads. There's probably going to be closures, major delays. It's going to be just nearly impossible to drive through those areas, at least to get through there safely. So we're going to have to find alternate routes around those areas like Lake Tahoe and eastern California.
So Zach, what are you seeing in the market based on whether it's weather or just general trends that you're seeing right now that are impacting the folks in the freight market?
Yeah, so right now we're seeing our outbound tender rejection index is starting to come back down after the Thanksgiving holiday, which is pretty standard this time of year as drivers get back online. They're back on the road, more available and whatnot. Right before we see, or right after Thanksgiving, we tend to see everybody kind of stabilize and regroup. Shippers need some time to get their production lines back going. So that's not unusual, but what we are seeing is out here in the Northwest, Seattle. What I have pulled up here is the outbound tender market share, and when that goes up, that's kind of an indication that volume is increasing out of these areas, out of these markets. And right now is like Christmas tree season. So most of the Christmas trees that supply the West Coast come out of this area right here, Portland, Oregon, and this area right over here. They're full of Christmas trees.
Is that why it's so dark blue, Zach?
Yeah. So so the darker blue indicates an increase in volume relative to where it was. So any of these darker blue colors you see on this map is an indication that volume has increased.
So if you're an asset-based carrier and you're thinking about where, so the market sort of, after the holidays is always a little bit softer. Think about where to send trucks to. Normally the Pacific Northwest is a really hard place to send trucks to. You're suggesting that has changed, at least temporarily.
Yeah, temporarily it's changed. So there's very small amount of time windows where you see these seasonalities show up. In the Pacific Northwest, of course, if you're hauling Christmas trees, you're already there. But for some of these other, it's taking capacity away from your regular shippers. So these shippers that are used to getting regular load coverage may not have the same luck because they're locked into these contract rates that are lower than these seasonal shipping.
Now, Zach, I see that it looks like Houston is really red. What does that mean?
So volume is low relative to where it was in Houston. And
So a week ago? Is it a week ago?
A week ago.
Yeah.
So 7 days ago. So Houston is really falling off in terms of volume.
So if you're an asset-based carrier and you have a choice between two loads, one going to Seattle and one going to Houston, you'd prefer the Seattle load at this moment over the Houston load. Is that right?
In general, yes. Right now, because you're probably seeing an oversupply of trucks in the Houston market because the volume is dramatically dropped quickly. That's what that darker red means. When that goes down more dramatically, the darker the color is. The darker the blue up here indicates that we're seeing a faster increase in volume coming out of Seattle right now.
So Zach, moving on to spot rates, what is it you're seeing as it relates to spot rates, the DET spot rates? What do you, right now in the lanes that we take in, the 7 lanes that we've got, what is happening in those markets?
So Los Angeles to Dallas is a huge lane this time of year because we have a lot of containers, and the port volume obviously were at record levels in September and October. Los Angeles to Dallas is going up. That's what
And that green means up?
Yeah, that green means up, the red means down, and kind of the closer to that bluish, reddish color means
when?
it's flat.
Is that versus
Yesterday.
Yesterday,
Yeah,
okay. So
yesterday's
it's a change in
value.
24 hours.
So Los Angeles to Dallas, the rate is going up. Atlanta to Philadelphia, the rate is going up. And then we have some regions on here to indicate general market conditions in those regions. So the East U.S. van rate, the East Coast U.S. van rate, in general is moving up, which includes markets like that Atlanta to Philadelphia. The rest of the market, Los Angeles to Seattle, looks like it's kind of flat to going down. And what Nick said with the Donner Pass and the mountain that's up there going on the I-5, that rate actually should go up considering what he's talking about with all the weather conditions.
The outbound rate out of those markets should go up. Which
Los Angeles to Seattle.
Listen, the rate would go up because carriers are trying to avoid it because of the weather.
Yeah, they're
But
gonna,
Nick, are they going to be impacted? If they hug the coast, if you will, would they be impacted by weather? Is it still a problem?
No, it won't be as bad closer to the coast. It's mostly those interior portions of California.
And it's
Yeah.
really going from California into Nevada is where the big problem is.
Correct, or vice versa, right.
Okay.
Donner Pass.
Right. But another thing I want to mention about that storm in the Sierra Nevada, it's not just the snow in the mountains that'll be an impact and the rain down in the valleys, but the winds are going to be fierce. We're talking about gusts maybe up to about 50 miles per hour. So anyone that is going to try and get through that area, it's not just the snow, but the wind's going to make it really difficult, especially if they're deadheading or having to haul light loads. It's going to be really risky to do that.
I mean, it's somewhat perverse because you'd want, and if you're going, you want to be heavy, right? But you're talking about going through the mountains, which you want to be heavy because that's safer just in terms of weight distribution.
Right.
But in terms of safety, going through mountains, having a heavy truck during a snowstorm is not a great idea.
Right.
So it's something you should
Catch-22
avoid.
kinda.
Yeah. So, well, guys, I really appreciate your time this morning. Stay tuned to FreightWaves. We're going to do this every single day here at FreightWaves, and so really excited about what's happening. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.